Hey you guys, let's talk about good quality canned tomatoes. We're gonna take a little detour from baking today. I feel very strongly about this, and so I wanted to talk about this. The gold standard for canned tomatoes is going to be your DOP certified San Marzano tomatoes. I know that a lot of people have heard that word or words, San Marzano, and they know maybe that they're good tomatoes, but they don't really know the difference or why not they should or shouldn't be using them. The San Marzano tomato is a variety of tomato. It is excellent for canning. It has nice thick walls, a low water ratio, a nice balanced flavor profile, sweetness to them, so you shouldn't need sugar if you're using this, low acidity, all the things that make a really great tomato sauce. Because of that low water content, also we don't need to cook as long, right? So all these really wonderful qualities in the San Marzano tomato. Also a very low amount of seeds, okay? They're really excellent for using in a tomato sauce. Now, take this one step further, and this DOP certification means that these San Marzano tomatoes were grown in a very specific area in Italy, okay? In the Campania region in southern Italy. They were grown in the shadow of Mount Vesuvius. You guys, I am not making this up. They are grown in the soil, that volcanic mineral-rich soil from Mount Vesuvius. That gives these a very unique flavor profile. So if you want to choose this gold standard tomato, I could name many different brands, okay? But your best bet is just to understand what you're looking for and then pick a brand that meets all those criteria, okay? Because there's lots of dupes out there. That's the thing, it's very confusing. You're looking for a few things. Number one, is this yellow and red certification here, a DOP. That is an actual certification from the European Union that tells us that these tomatoes came from this specific area. They were canned using traditional methods. I believe that the tomatoes themselves are hand-picked, okay? Look for this yellow and red label. The second thing you're gonna do for those DOP tomatoes is look for this wording right here. Only DOP certified tomatoes will have these words on them, okay? Right here, write these words right here, okay? And that refers to this region, okay? You're also gonna look for something like this, some sort of stamp or identification number on them. This is the certification number, okay? So this is how serious Italians are about their tomatoes. Another form of making sure that they are, that they're this valid DOP tomato. We're also gonna wanna look at the ingredients. A DOP certified San Marzano tomato is only allowed to have, they cannot have any preservatives. You're looking at the following ingredients: the San Marzano tomatoes, salt, fresh basil is a potential that they are allowed to add. Last but not least, some sort of liquid that they are canned in, which is usually tomato puree, like it is in this case. Sometimes it could be water as well. That's it. You see anything other than that, citric acid, some sort of anti-caking agent, not the real deal, okay? Why might you, or when might you want to use your DOP tomatoes? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, these are not cheap, okay? This can right here will cost me just under $8. And so we might not want to use this for every dish, okay? So when you're choosing, if you have to choose, then what I'm gonna say is when it's a tomato-based heavy tomato dish where you're not cooking it for long periods of time. I'm talking about your basic tomato sauce, one that's a quick cook sauce, okay? That's when I want to use something like this, when it's the tomato flavor that I want to be tasting, okay? When, let's say, you're making maybe a lasagna, a meat sauce, soup that has tomato in it, we're talking about things where the tomato flavor is still there and we still want it to be a good quality tomato, but maybe at that point we don't need to choose the gold standard because we have so many other flavors there, we can choose something else, okay? So let's talk about this something else. What we're talking about here is still a San Marzano tomato. Remember, that's a type of variety of tomato. So take those seeds and plant them in other areas other than that area that we discussed. And now what you have is a San Marzano tomato that is not certified DOP or a San Marzano style tomato, okay? These are not made equally, you guys. These are still a nice quality tomato. Generally, you're gonna look for one, and here I wanted to show you that this is a San Marzano style tomato. Generally, you wanna look for something that comes peeled and whole. That's an indication that that's probably a good quality canned tomato. You do want to take a peek at the ingredients, okay? We want to make sure that we're not seeing a lot of preservatives. We still want to look for those simple ingredients. The tomatoes, the salt, maybe a tomato puree, right? And then possibly fresh basil. This one here has the addition of fresh basil. You're still using those San Marzano tomatoes that have all those wonderful qualities about them. We just are missing that flavor profile from that specific region in Italy where the DOP are grown. So I'm gonna suggest that if you want to make an excellent tomato sauce where that tomato is the main flavor, this is going to be your go-to, your DOP San Marzanos. When we still want to use a nice quality tomato, but maybe the tomato isn't that, you know, the whole flavor, then I'm going to suggest for you still a San Marzano whole peeled tomato with minimal ingredients, either in the San Marzano style or San Marzano, but not the DOP. We talk about all this and more at some of our classes, our fresh pasta class in particular, our meatball class as well. So hopefully if you're interested in food just as much as I am, or you just like to eat food, then we hope to see you there.